Welcome back to the news at noon. In today's Monday Movie Musings, Matt Perrin gives us his take on The Old Man and the Gun, starring Robert Redford.
Welcome to another Monday. Well, it's official. We have the highest grossing October box office ever, largely led by the Halloween sequel. Unfortunately, I couldn't review it again because this was one of those weeks that I looked at the new releases and had no urge to really see any of them. Just when I thought I was going to settle for Jonah Hill's mid-90s, I received a ray of hope. One of our theaters was doing limited showings of a movie in limited release that I've been waiting for it to come to Columbia. Plus, even in limited release, it came in 11th at the box office. So with this being Robert Redford's last film, is he going to go out with a bang? Here's my take on The Old Man and the Gun. Our movie is based on the true story of Forrest Tucker, portrayed by Robert Redford. He's a septuagenarian that loves robbing banks. He always has, and we follow him on a string of robberies that he and two other friends committed in 1981. The Over-the-Hill gang, as they've been dubbed, case bank after bank, and Forrest goes in, always with a smile, and robs the bank like a gentleman. So much so that after each robbery, the tellers and managers mostly only remember how polite he was. While fleeing the police after one particular robbery, he comes across a woman in distress, Jewel, played by Sissy Spacek. They start courting each other, with Forrest constantly hinting at what he does for a living, but Jewel never quite taken the bait. We are also introduced to Detective John Hunt, played by Casey Affleck. He is a robbery detective who, ironically, is in one of the banks that Forrest robs, and he never sees anything go down. After that, he becomes captivated with this crime spree. He is amazed at how far it is stretched and how even the people at the banks that have been robbed have nothing but the nicest things to say about the elderly robber. As the movie progresses, we see several relationships evolving all at once. We have the relationship between Forrest and Jewel, and we can see that Forrest may see that there is something else in life other than robbing banks. We see the three robbers and their thoughts about the robberies changing along with how they see each other. We also see the cat and mouse game develop between Forrest and John, with the robber almost trying to bait the detective, and the detective almost developing an admiration for the robber and his craft, along with his zest for life. We, as the audience, wait to see how this is going to play out, but we know that Forrest has escaped prison 16 times, so even if he is caught, we know that this isn't the end. So, what to say about this one? I was pretty sucked in from the beginning when on the screen, instead of saying based on a true story, it says, this story is mostly true. Now, that being said, the movie moves a little slowly and the dialogue is a bit slow as well, but it's still fascinating in that truth is stranger than fiction sort of way. Robert Redford does a really great job in this film, especially since it's paralleling his own life at the moment, in that this is the last film he's going to do. Kind of like his character is going to have a last bank robbery eventually. So I think in this particular situation, it was pretty easy for Redford to relate to the idea of how do you give up something that you love and excel at. Throughout the film, we keep hearing about how the character has escaped from 16 prisons, and we get a fun payoff towards the end of the film when we get to see a lot of them remembered, even using some old footage of Redford when he was young. Also, the first face-to-face between Robert Redford and Casey Affleck is worth the price of admission all on its own. It was really fun watching all these Oscar winners and nominees play off each other. I definitely think that there may be some award buzz in this film's future, so if you can find a showing of it, I don't think you can go wrong taking this one in, even with the slower dialogue. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Matt. And stick with us. Tyler has one last look at your forecast after the break.